Welcome, seekers of truth and wisdom. In this video, we're delving into the 6 biblical characters who lied in the presence of God. We often elevate these figures to a pedestal of perfection, but it's crucial to remember that they were humans, just like you and me. They had their strengths and weaknesses, their virtues and vices. They experienced fear, gave in to temptation, and fell prey to jealousy. And yes, they lied. In this journey, we're going to explore these characters not with judgment, but with understanding. We'll look at their lies not as mere falsehoods, but as manifestations of their human frailty, fear, temptation, and jealousy. We'll delve into the stories of Abraham, Peter, Eve, Adam, Cain, Sarah, and many more. Abraham, the revered patriarch, lied out of fear. Peter, the rock upon which the church was built, lied to protect himself. Eve, the mother of all living, was deceived into lying. Adam, the first man, lied out of fear and to shift blame. Cain, the firstborn, lied to hide his crime. Sarah, the mother of nations, lied out of desperation and disbelief. These are not just stories of deceit, they are narratives of human nature, stories that mirror our own struggles and weaknesses. They show us that even the most revered figures in the Bible had their moments of weakness. But more importantly, they teach us about the consequences of deceit, the importance of honesty, confession, and making amends. Each story is a lesson in itself, a testament to the timeless wisdom of the Bible. As we delve into each tale, we'll unravel the threads of truth and deceit, of virtue and vice, of strength and weakness. We'll learn, grow, and hopefully find a better understanding of ourselves and our own truths. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey to explore the less spoken truths of the Bible. Fear, a powerful emotion that can drive us to act in ways we never thought we could. Let's explore how fear led some of our biblical characters to lie. Fear is a universal experience, an innate emotional response to perceived danger. It's a survival mechanism that has served us well throughout human history. But fear can also push us to make decisions that are less than truthful, leading us down paths we might not have taken otherwise. Today, we'll delve into the stories of 2 biblical characters, Abraham and Peter, who let fear guide their actions, resulting in lies and deceit. Let's start with Abraham, a man known for his faith and obedience. Yet even he was not immune to the power of fear. In the book of Genesis, we find Abraham journeying to Egypt with his wife Sarah during a severe famine. Fearful that the Egyptians would kill him to take his beautiful wife, Abraham asked Sarah to lie and say she was his sister. The lie, born out of fear for his own life, had serious consequences. Sarah was taken into Pharaoh's house and Abraham received wealth in return. But the Lord intervened, plaguing Pharaoh and his house. When the truth was revealed, Pharaoh rebuked Abraham and sent him away. This story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the face of fear, we must strive to uphold truth and trust in God's protection. Abraham's fear led him to lie, but it was his faith that ultimately saved him and Sarah. It's a lesson in the value of truth, the perils of deceit, and the steadfastness of God's protection, even when we falter. Next, we turn to the story of Peter, one of Jesus' most devoted disciples. Yet, when fear gripped him, Peter denied knowing Jesus, not once but 3 times. On the night of Jesus' arrest, fear of persecution led Peter to lie, to distance himself from Jesus. The rooster's crow, a poignant reminder of Jesus' prediction of Peter's denial, marked a moment of deep regret for Peter. He wept bitterly, the weight of his deceit heavy on his heart. Peter's story is a stark illustration of how fear can lead even the most faithful to falter. But it's also a story of redemption. Peter's remorse led him to seek forgiveness, and he went on to play a pivotal role in the early Christian church. His story teaches us that even when we let fear lead us to lie, there is always a path back to truth and faith. In both these stories, fear led to lies, but they also highlight the importance of faith and honesty. Abraham's story reminds us to trust in God's protection, even in the face of fear. Peter's story shows us that remorse and forgiveness can lead us back to truth, even after we've strayed. Fear can indeed lead us astray, pushing us to make decisions we might not otherwise make. It can lead us to lie, to deceive, and to hide the truth. But these stories also offer hope. They show us that even when we falter, when we let fear drive us to deceit, we can always find our way back. We can learn from our mistakes, seek forgiveness, and strive to be better. We can choose to let faith guide us rather than fear, and in doing so we can find our way back to truth, to honesty, and to a life guided by faith. Fear can lead us astray, but remember, faith in God is our guiding light in times of darkness. Temptation, a beguiling force that can make us compromise our values. Now we turn our attention to those who lied under its influence. In the lush gardens of Eden, we meet our first characters, Eve and Adam, who were swayed by the deceptive grip of temptation. The couple, living in harmony with nature and their creator, faced the ultimate test when the most cunning creature in the garden, the serpent, approached Eve with a tantalizing offer. The serpent, a symbol of temptation, whispered into Eve's ear, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" Eve, confident in her knowledge, corrected the serpent, stating that they could eat from any tree except the one in the middle of the garden. The serpent, however, had a different story to tell. "You will not certainly die," it said, "for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Here, Eve was faced with a temptation that many of us encounter today. The allure of forbidden knowledge, the promise of becoming more than what we are. Despite knowing God's command, Eve was swayed by the serpent's words. She ate from the tree of knowledge, and in a moment of shared temptation, Adam followed suit. When God found out about their disobedience, they lied. They hid from God, and when asked, Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. Their lies were born out of fear and shame, but they also highlighted the destructive power of succumbing to temptation. Their actions led to severe consequences: expulsion from the paradise of Eden, a life of toil and hardship. But their story is not just a tale of downfall. It's a narrative of humanity's inherent frailty and the struggle between obedience and desire. It's a lesson about the dangers of temptation and the importance of truth and accountability. Let's move forward in time to another biblical figure who succumbed to temptation, Abraham, the father of nations. Fearing for his life while sojourning in Egypt, Abraham asked his wife Sarah to lie, to pretend she was his sister, believing this would save his life. Abraham's fear overpowered his faith, leading him to lie and compromise his wife's honor. But just like Adam and Eve's story, Abraham's tale isn't without redemption. When the truth was revealed, Abraham had to face the consequences of his actions, but he also received a divine assurance of protection, a reminder that faith and truth are stronger shields than deception. These stories, although ancient, hold timeless truths. They remind us that temptation is a part of our human experience. It can lead us astray, make us compromise our values, and even push us to lie. But they also teach us that true strength lies not in succumbing to these temptations, but in resisting them, in choosing truth over deception, faith over fear. In this light, we can see these biblical characters not just as figures from a distant past, but as mirrors reflecting our own struggles, our own battles with temptation and deceit. Their stories serve as a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles, and that every temptation we face is an opportunity for growth, for choosing integrity over deceit. Temptation can be alluring, but true strength lies in resisting its deceptive charm. Jealousy, an emotion that can blind us to reason and truth. Let's see how it led some biblical characters to lie. Heralding the tale of the first siblings, Cain and Abel, we see how jealousy can act as a corrosive force, eating away at our better judgment. Cain was a tiller of the ground, and Abel a shepherd. Both brought offerings to God, but God favored Abel's offering over Cain's. This favoritism sparked a flame of jealousy in Cain's heart. Rather than dealing with his feelings and working towards bettering his offerings, Cain allowed jealousy to take root. When God asked Cain about Abel's whereabouts, Cain chose to lie. "Am I my brother's keeper?" he retorted, a lie born out of jealousy and resentment. Here, Cain's lie served to mask his guilt, a desperate attempt to escape the consequences of his actions. But the truth, as it often does, found a way to surface. God, already aware of Abel's fate, pronounced a curse upon Cain, turning him into a restless wanderer on the earth. This tale is a stark reminder of how jealousy can lead us down a path of deceit, causing us to make choices that we might later regret. It also teaches us about the consequences of our actions. Despite his lie, Cain could not escape the repercussions of his deed, a testament to the old adage, "What's done in the dark will come to light." Let's move forward to another example, Jacob and Esau, yet another pair of siblings whose story is marred by jealousy. Jacob, the younger sibling, was jealous of Esau's birthright and blessing. With the help of his mother, Jacob deceives his father, Isaac, by pretending to be Esau and receiving the blessing meant for his elder brother. This lie, born out of jealousy, creates a deep rift between the brothers and leads to years of estrangement. Jacob's lie, much like Cain's, teaches us about the long-lasting effects of jealousy-fueled deceit. It shows us how a moment's jealousy can lead to a lifetime of regret, as Jacob had to live with the consequences of his actions, including being separated from his family. Yet despite the deceit and the consequences, these tales also offer glimmers of hope. Both Cain and Jacob in their own ways seek redemption. Cain, despite his punishment, is given a mark of protection by God. Jacob, after years of estrangement, is eventually reconciled with Esau, symbolizing forgiveness and the healing power of time. These stories show us how jealousy can cloud our judgment, leading us to lie and deceive. They teach us about the consequences of such actions and remind us of the importance of honesty and integrity. But most importantly, they show us that, despite our mistakes, there is always room for redemption, for seeking forgiveness and making amends. Jealousy can cloud our judgment, but love and understanding can help us see clearly. And when we see clearly, we can choose truth over deceit, love over envy, and understanding over resentment. Remember, the path to redemption is always open, and it often starts with recognizing our mistakes and seeking to make amends. Every action has a consequence, and every mistake a lesson. Let's reflect on the outcomes of these lies and the path to redemption. In the grand tapestry of life, the threads of truth and deception are often intertwined. The tales of Abraham, Peter, Eve, Adam, Cain, and Sarah remind us that the choice to lie can have far-reaching implications, altering the course of our lives and those around us. These stories, though ancient, hold timeless truths about the consequences of dishonesty and the transformative power of redemption. Consider Abraham, who lied about his relationship with Sarah out of fear. His deceit led to discord and confusion, causing strife within Pharaoh's household. Yet in the end, he found redemption through confession and a return to honesty, affirming the age-old adage that truth indeed sets us free. Or take the story of Peter, whose fear led him to deny his relationship with Jesus not once, but 3 times. The rooster's crow, a harsh reminder of his betrayal, was a turning point for Peter. His remorse sparked a journey of redemption that transformed him into a cornerstone of the early Christian church. Then there's the tale of Eve, whose lie, born out of temptation, led humanity into a world of sin. Yet even in this darkest hour, there was a glimmer of redemption. Eve's story reminds us that while we may stumble and fall, we are never beyond the reach of forgiveness. Adam too chose to hide the truth, a decision that cost him his place in paradise. But his story did not end in despair. Through his trials, he learned the value of honesty and the importance of taking responsibility for his actions, paving the way for his redemption. Cain's lie, fueled by jealousy, led to the loss of his brother and his banishment. Yet, even in his punishment, there was a lesson. The mark of Cain served as a reminder of his misdeeds and a call to change his ways. And finally, Sarah, whose lie was born out of fear and doubt. Her deceit caused pain and upheaval, but it also led her to a deeper understanding of faith and trust in God's plan. In each of these stories, we see that the path to redemption often begins with acknowledging our mistakes. Confession, as they say, is the first step towards rectifying a wrong. It allows us to confront our flaws, learn from our errors, and make amends where possible. Honesty, too, plays a critical role in this journey. It invites trust, fosters understanding, and paves the way for healing. When we choose honesty over deceit, we not only honor ourselves but also those around us. The tales of these biblical characters serve as powerful reminders that redemption is not a destination, but a journey. It is a journey of learning, growth, and transformation. It is a journey that invites us to rise above our mistakes, to seek forgiveness, and to strive for a better, more honest version of ourselves. Mistakes are stepping stones to wisdom, and redemption is always within our reach. We've journeyed through intriguing narratives of fear, temptation, and jealousy today. We've explored the stories of 15 Bible characters who, despite their flaws, showed us that redemption is always within reach. We've learned how Abraham, Peter, Eve, Adam, Cain, and Sarah succumbed to fear, gave in to temptation, and allowed jealousy to cloud their judgment. Yet their stories are not defined by their missteps, but by their resilience and their faith in God's unending grace. These narratives serve as timeless reminders that honesty, confession, and making amends are vital to our spiritual growth. They highlight the importance of resisting temptation, overcoming fear, and quelling jealousy. But most importantly, they teach us that no matter how many times we fall, we can always rise again, guided by faith and God's love. Do these stories resonate with your experiences? Have you faced a moment where fear, temptation, or jealousy led you to act out of character? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. We are all fellow travelers on this path of spiritual growth, and your insights can enlighten us all.